welcome back to Popcorn and Plot Holes. We are watching all of the facts movies that you love. Some are more facts than less facts, but they still fit. Speaking of fitting, Spencer, welcome back.
Woot woot. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we try. Luciano?
Hi.
We're-
I am not a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Spoiler alert, I didn't even tell him what movie we're watching. Anyways, I guess we're watching Barbie. We watched Barbie.
Welcome back
It's
to
over.
Three Men Talk About Barbie.
Yeah, the hottest podcast on the internet.
The best possible people to talk about this.
Three white,
older
straight, old men talk about Barbie. This is what the internet wanted.
It demanded.
We could have brought some diversity to the podcast.
We
but,
actually
Chris,
got rid of our diversity
we got rid of it.
for this
Yeah,
episode.
that's true.
We cleaned it up.
Oh no.
It's too much diversity for one podcast to handle. Let's just dive into this because what the hell? Why not? We watched Barbie. It is a 2023 movie that made Mattel and everybody involved with it a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
The question I have for you two, being such Barbie scholars that you are,
Barbie heads.
Barb heads.
We're called Barbies.
Very,
Two
very
E's.
creative. Called Barbies.
Yeah.
Barbie.
Got rid of the I. You put an extra E in.
Barbie eye, yes.
Yeah.
I you know, let's start off with an easy one. What was your favorite part of this movie? We're starting high.
Starting with the I don't want to just say Ken. Ken was fantastic. He was probably, Ryan Gosling's Ken was fantastic. I really enjoyed the musical number. I've been listening to the song in my car. I'm a musical guy. I like musicals. So they got me.
Isn't it
just-
because it speaks to you
Yeah.
so much?
I wanted to say just so everybody heard that correctly, the straight white man on the podcast picked the straight white man in the movie
Yes.
as his favorite part.
But I also added the musical part, which really takes away from the straight white man angle. Throws a curveball
That
in
is
there.
true.
Sorry, are you saying straight white men can't listen to musicals?
God damn, I
Yes.
fucking do. Best damn musical ever.
Spencer,
Yes.
are you familiar with the term incel?
We're
Christ.
too early.
Well,
Too
what
early.
the fuck?
You save that.
2 minutes
You
in, what
save
the
that
fuck?
for when I'm saying things later.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. We'll come
That
back
will
around.
come back.
Let's move on to Luciano's favorite part, and we can just pretend that never happened.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm torn between two very different parts. I think that my favorite part was the monologue that Sasha's mom makes when they're talking about when they're starting to form the plan to take Barbie Land back. I really loved it, like the rawness of, like, you can tell that, as much as that was written in the script for her to say, she was just like going, this is going from experience.
I asked my wife, do you think they wrote it, or they're just like, you know what, you go, girl, just go for
wing
it.
it.
Let it all out.
Yeah,
I love to see the director's cut to see how many times she did it in different ways.
Yeah, in different ways. Yeah, I asked my wife watched with me, and I think it was the closest I've ever seen Fran get to yelling "Hell yeah!" to the screen. So, yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that part. The second closest was just a little thing, the little fourth wall breakage when Barbie, like stereotypical Barbie, saying, "I'm not even pretty anymore," and then Helen Mirren comes in and says, "No to the filmmakers. Margot Robbie is the wrong cast to make if you're going to make that point." I
guess if we're only talking about physical attractiveness.
Wow.
God, the movie was clearly written
save.
by the patriarchy.
Good save, Spencer. You've nailed it.
A good try, like a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
Try.
you're killing it right now. I can't decide between, for me, is if it's just Alan in general, just Michael,
Fair.
Sarah playing
Fair.
as Alan, and it's because, like, I think the reason why we're picking all these different things is because it's such a poignant movie for, like, the treatment of women, and the men are used as idiots in the best possible ways. But I also really enjoyed the guy in the boardroom when Barbie comes to talk to all the leaders of Mattel, and she asks where the woman in charge is, and the guy was like, "I'm a man with no power. Am I a woman?"
Yeah, that was good. There's a lot of little jabs there, right?
Yeah.
When she goes visit Weird Barbie, and she's like walking up all those stairs in heels. She's like, "God, if my feet were shaped like this, I would never wear heels."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, yes, I see you, Barbie." So yeah, I really like that. All of those little jabs were a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
And seeing guys portrayed as idiots, as we all know we are, that was also pretty fun too.
I don't know if it's that far off from how most
Nope.
men actually operate.
Who, the Kens?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would say the Kens
Alan.
were, some of them were borderline mentally challenged, which
Yeah, which is
It's just fair.
Fine.
It's like they're just taking actual men and like turning it from like a 7 to an 8 or 9, and those are the Kens. It's just a little slight tweak. It's not like they, went fully crazy on it, because I think that's just how a lot of dudes operate.
I'm like, I want to say no, but the scene where they're playing guitar and staring at the girls in the eyes was way too accurate. And my wife was like, before the movie was like, "Oh, there's a part of the movie that made me think of you," and she didn't tell me what. And then I watched that scene and I looked at her, I was like, "You son of a bitch, you betrayed me." This movie is woke propaganda.
I don't normally want our listeners to write in, but I kind of do want our listeners to tell us who they think is the most Ken on this podcast. So far, Spencer is leading.
I don't think I want to
How dare you
know.
insult me like that?
Don't worry, Spencer's going to win this. Look at him.
I mean,
He's already.
this movie was
How many fur jackets do you own, Spencer?
yes.
Oh no.
Well, not real
it.
fur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Wink. That's what you say.
Faux mink like Ken's, you mean?
Yeah, it's faux mink.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Mojo
The
Dojo.
He's still
Mojo-
winking, by the way.
the
You guys,
Casa-
you guys can't see it, but he's still winking.
I have an eye disease. I like the fantastical elements of this movie, like the fact that they could travel through space, and that there was like a full fantasy world, and that women had emotions. The whole thing was just amazing.
It's just a fucking slip it in
What are you
there.
talking about? And somehow there's some sort of patriarchy in the world. Just it's just so ridiculous.
What a
What
fantasy.
a fantasy.
I mean, not just the patriarchy, but horses. as
That
well.
horses exist.
Right? I actually really enjoyed when they go back after Ken has been back for a while, and like Mount Rushmore is just 4 horses.
Hey,
I really laughed out loud at that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I can see that.
I didn't feel that. That obsession with horses didn't resonate with me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm such a city man.
Why not?
Like if those were like PlayStation 5s on the wall, I'd be like, I get this man speaks to me.
Mattel doesn't own the rights to PlayStation.
That's true.
That's
But
the
it does
thing.
own the rights to horses, I assume.
Apparently.
yeah. Horses
With how
TM.
much money they made with this movie,
Yeah.
maybe now they do.
Maybe.
Every time we say horse, we have to pay Mattel.
3 cents. Yeah.
It's going to be very expensive based on how much we earn for this podcast.
Yeah.
So we might as well talk about we'll call the allegories of this movie, or like the connection to what society is really like.
I didn't see any of those.
In terms of you missed them all.
No,
Spencer, did you watch
I
this
did.
movie? You sure?
I just
I think
didn't
this
see
is going to
that.
be the first movie we talked about that Spencer actually knows the names of the characters.
Okay.
Ah,
Spencer,
Yep. Let me add
can
it.
you tell me the names of the 2 main characters?
There was Ken,
Oh no!
and
Why would you?
there was Alan,
Why do you-
There was.
and I believe there was a secondary love interest in there somewhere.
It's
the
fair.
other Kens.
The other Ken, yeah, Ken, the other Kens, of course.
The other Kens.
One he had that musical number with. It was beautiful.
What was the name of the blonde woman?
Ruth Handler.
Boobs.
Oh Jesus Christ! He
Guys-
outdid me.
I know her name. Barb.
He's not wrong. I mean, technically that is
Barbara.
accurate.
No, yeah, Barbara.
Barbie Mattel.
You've passed my test.
Thank you.
I wonder if the actual Ruth Handler actually called her daughter Barbie, like into her face. Barbie, go fix, go
Definitely.
Clean your room.
And Ruth Handler was like a
think so?
money embezzler. Is that what the whole joke was?
No, she invented Barbie and she ran Mattel for a while, and then she embezzled some money. I don't know. It's actually covered in the those Netflix movies where they did like the toys that made us and movies that made us. They do one on Barbie and they cover her money issues there, but I don't recall it specifically.
Her money issues there.
Well, they were issues, but that's another movie, aka that one.
Yeah, not this one, but that one. Great podcasting.
You're welcome. It's called The Toys That Made Us.
Toys
I already
that made
said
us.
the title.
You did already say that. Say it again.
The Toys That Made Us. If they want to give us throw us some money, that's fine. I was just pointing out the fact that
we need to pay Mattel for every time we say horse.
So we need to make up saying horse by saying the toys that made us.
It's called business.
Balance.
Hello.
That's business. If we learned anything from Mattel in this movie, is that if we just say business terms enough,
We'll be in the green.
That sounds like a good plan.
We are in the green. So, what did you guys think of how it portrayed women's lives in real society, and used it as like a gateway with Kens and Barbies to talk about how that actually affects people?
Honestly, in the beginning of the movie, I was not worried, but I was like, I was like, this movie is not going to be this tone deaf, is it? Because I saw that it was Mattel doing it, and like they kept mentioning Mattel, and I thought they were going to try and make sort of like, no, Barbie's really good for women, but obviously they didn't. So I liked the parallels that they made between like the way that things work in Barbie land, where everything is perfect. It's like it's really like a land of wishful thinking, right? In more senses than one. It's like, I'm sure Ruth Handler herself didn't mean for Barbie to inflict the psychological damage that it did on girls and women since its inception. And I think that's how the Barbie land world operates. And I think it was a little bit of a, hey guys, we had a good idea. It was, badly implemented and then taken over by capitalism, but it was fine. I particularly like the transition when they first go to the real world and Barbie's like, what is happening? Why does everybody keep staring at me? And Ken was like, yeah, they keep staring at me too. It's making me feel awesome. And there are no undertones of violence whatsoever. And she goes, there's a lot of violence overtones in mine. Yeah. So I think it was a pretty genius, way of like conveying that without, like, it is very on the nose. It's clobbering you over the head, but it doesn't make it, like, a lot of the times I complain, at least, about movies clobbering you over the head with something, but in here it was the idea, right? And it doesn't insult you. It's just like, oh, this is what you're in for. Get ready. Yeah. So I enjoyed it.
Spencer, as our closest link to the incel community,
that's the closest link to what?
The incel community.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad I clarified that.
It was really worth your time.
Yeah. I can handle this.
How do you think the movie portrayed your brethren and yourself? Or not you, I don't know if you are, just the representative.
Well, I don't think this movie was very fair to men. I think we get a bad rap. And frankly, this woke agenda of portraying men as so what? Make more money. We run everything. Wah, wah, wah. I just think that we go through stuff too. Right? Right, boys?
You're enough for everybody.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
And
how many K's are in Knuff?
Oh no.
Frankly,
no.
I think it's about time we get a movie for men.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
We don't have enough of those.
Listen, Can I get an alternative viewpoint other than
From who?
incel Ken over here?
Uh-oh.
Oh, look
Hey,
who
Chris.
decided to show up.
Chris, can you bring some diversity to this podcast so it's not just three straight white men talking about Barbie?
Listen, I already, as a man, I already feel wildly ill-equipped to talk about this movie. Okay, but no,
We're
but
gonna.
like, check it out. Oh, I know, but we doing it. I know, but we doing it. When you say diversity, can you expand a little more? Because
I don't want to because
Okay,
it doesn't really exist.
Okay, so then check it. This movie already has some great representation from the spectrum of Kens and spectrum of Barbies.
Some say too much.
Flat out. Too much?
I'm speaking for the incel community. Okay?
Okay, then you sit in your insulated corner and
Insulated corner.
let's unpack the beauty, the colors of Benetton that is the warm hug of like one Simu Liu countering Ryan Gosling's Ken. I mean, every Ken brought out the light of every other Ken
Sorry, the Kenergy?
patriarchy. The Kenergy. This is what I can need right now.
Oh my god.
Silence, patriarchy. I think I can't even begin.
You can't
but point
even?
blank, I can't even, but I will.
shouldn't
Shuti
do
Gatswa, one of my favorite Kens. Simu Liu, one of my favorite Kens. I'm already gushing over Ryan Gosling Ken pre-patriarchy. But then again, mid-patriarchy and then end post-patriarchy.
What about
Did you went on a
did you,
dinner?
John? What about
Do you
John
care about
Cena?
any of the women in this movie?
Like about as much as you
You
care
said
about my question,
diversity.
Spencer.
I just started.
Sorry.
Our esteemed host. Silence itself.
All right. I'll save my time.
He said he asked for diversity, and I went through that, and then I went through that, and then Issa Rae, President Barbie, loved
President
her.
Barbie, yes.
Oh my god,
A female president. Talk about a fantasy.
Oh my god,
We created a monster.
we're gonna get canceled so quickly.
Well done, sir.
Our plastic heads will spin right off our torsos. If this movie had been made in the 90s, the cast would have been would have been
Can you imagine?
I can't even.
You got to stop doing
Nope.
that.
Yes,
well,
you're right.
The cast was the Mattel's board of directors.
That was
Yeah.
fucked. Funny, but fucked.
Well, I mean, on purpose. It was fucked
Yes,
on
yes,
purpose.
yes, yes, yes. Tongue in cheek. So if we're talking about diversity, I mean, I do love how the real world connection to Barbie, like the human connection to Barbie, was played by one America Ferrera and her daughter. And interesting that like the doll was shared between daughter and mother over a period of time. So that really wonked her up. So yeah, overall, I think the cast was not only diverse to represent not only race and age, and by age, I also wonder if there could have been room for an elderly Barbie. There wasn't, but then all we got, but it was a little weird with that park bench.
That was a great scene.
Right?
That scene was bullshit.
Thank you.
You can't hide from the truth. You can't. We're deprogramming you.
We can't acknowledge older women on film. I'm against that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Spencer,
Oh my
would you say
God.
that woman needed more plastic
Everybody
surgery
knows
to be
the
allowed on screen?
natural development of a woman on screen. You go from child to teenager to 20-something, 30-something to plastic to further plastic to
So you're saying
to
Courtney
no
Cox?
more movies.
Wow.
You're
You're
saying
just
Courtney.
out here shooting your shots, Chris. Are you sure you're not part of the incel community? Just
man said
putting
the
Courtney
man-
Cox on blast.
The man
He's
said,
adjacent. He's
The man
incel
said-
adjacent.
He said, and I'm trying to put him on blast.
Why
Courtney Cox is
why are you supporting him in any way, shape, or form?
I did not understand the question.
I yield my time.
I do yield my time. Shit.
Thank you for yielding your time after you used it up thoroughly, Chris. No, that's fine. We talked about. I'm glad you joined us because we talked about our favorite parts of the movie. We talked about some of the energy the movie brings to try to point out the fallacies in real life and how men treat women like shit. Getting a little serious for a second. Thankfully, Incel Spencer came to save us from being too serious.
That's true. I got a little serious,
Yeah.
and then the energies of the podcast reacted. That was a backlash.
There'll be none of that here.
He brought
can be
balance to
scared.
the force, as it
That's
were.
fair. That's fair.
I am curious when you watch this movie. This is for all of you, not just Chris. I'm not going to put him on the spot. Even the incel spokesperson can answer if he chooses. So
Present.
Branson. What do you guys make of the fact that it turned into a musical? I know. Spencer says he loves.
That was
musicals,
that was
but I
real
just-
Spencer. Incel Spencer has a wildly different take, and it is offensive.
We could probably skip it, I guess, this time, since real
I think
Spencer
it's
answered.
I think it'd be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
To skip.
We are speaking. Ting ting. We are speaking to the real Spencer. Ting ting.
Help me! I'm stuck in a room with
Spencer,
my little ponies everywhere, and
take my hand. Come to the
I'm holding-
light.
a cheap sword bought at the mall, and I'm wearing
Release
a fedora,
it. Release.
but it's
Release
smelly.
it. Take these pink socks. Take them.
I don't wear socks. I don't believe in
Put them on. I said
I don't believe
believe.
I
Believe.
socks and
believe in
deodorant
socks.
are part of the
That's a
matriarchy.
statement.
Put your feet
no.
into, and then put your feet into these Birkenstocks.
But Birkenstocks are
They're
actually not too
comfortable.
bad.
They're comfortable. Do it.
I could
We
wear
got
those.
him. We've got him. Pull us
Go
up.
well with my lack of sock belief.
So yeah, it was a great segment, and more than welcome.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the musicals.
number.
Oh, okay. It
Well,
went
there was more
sideways
than
a
one.
little bit there.
Well,
Yeah, but they all
that's
kind of
like, we
came
were
at
anchored.
the end, right? The end
Yeah.
just kind of switched to the last third of the movie or quarter of the
do you
movie
guys
went
think-
full musical.
You guys think that they cast Ryan Gosling because there was a musical scene, or there was a musical scene because they cast Ryan Gosling?
Yes.
I think
Nice.
they.
Nice.
Like-
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a good question though, because like dude's multi-talented. La La Land.
He's not the strongest singer,
and then
but he can sing.
but he can carry it too.
He's on key. A little
Um,
auto tune in there.
He's definitely has musical ability. So I think it was just like the star, all of the stars aligning, and then just just having it's the difference between having the restaurant children's pack of crayons that are like 3 or 4 crayons versus the whole freaking massive box of crayons that have all the colors. You can paint so much more vivid pictures that way. So I think they were fully equipped. I honestly I feel like Mattel should take on the DCEU. They've got
Whoa.
they've got the ability and they've got all
What are
the
we getting
colors
the crayon
to execute.
cinematic universe?
Can I ask you?
yeah.
Can I ask you guys a hard
Let's go.
question?
So the
Since Chris
musicals
brought
numbers were awesome.
since Chris
Sorry, go ahead.
brought up the DC
Uh-oh.
universe,
I know what you're gonna do, but do it.
how come even Barbie knows that the Zack Snyder Justice League movie is shit,
Now hold on there.
and only the Kens through brainwashing made her like
now,
that movie?
now you hold on just one goddamn second.
just
This is what
which
this
Spencer
is
is
both
this?
Spencer. Incel Spencer and regular Spencer agree on this fact. Zach,
I call on the power of
they didn't say it was shit. They just said they care way too much about Zack Snyder cut.
Oh, the implication was obvious, sir. This is a movie all about
that's your inferral.
No,
that's your
she
inferral.
literally said.
You inferred it.
I felt like I was in this living nightmare or something where
No.
I cared way too much about the
living nightmare. You heard it here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna let Incel Spencer take this one for a second. Frankly, I wouldn't expect a woman to understand the genius of Zack Snyder. Okay, he is on another level in terms of creative filmmaking, and there's subtle undertones of the Snyder Cut's Justice League that frankly she didn't understand.
Is that the one where they have to play Wonder Woman's music all the time to let you know a woman's in the frame?
Yeah, because how will you know a woman's in the frame if you don't hear?
All right.
I don't know if that hurt or helped.
I'm not sure. I can prove my
Spencer.
I'm not sure.
Spencer, what have we done? When we call on Incel Spencer Hulk, expect there to be collateral damage.
Oh, it's all collateral damage, baby.
When he activates and sells Spencer, he's casting from HP, not from mana.
I don't know what
Incel
that
Spencer
means.
knows because Incel Spencer plays Dungeons and Dragons.
You hold on a goddamn
Fuck you, Incel Spencer.
Yes, we pointed the cannon in the right direction. Yes, fire!
I am evil incarnate.
Fire!
Anyways, back to this movie we watched about Barbie. Was there, we talked about favorite scenes.
Favorite scenes.
We talked about the musicals. Do you guys have a favorite, Ken?
Ooh.
Or Barbie? Either way. Do both.
Right.
Favorite Ken and favorite Barbie. Real Spencer, you're going to have to answer a little
You
bit for
slipped
this.
real Barbie in there the last second. For a second, you were joining Incel Spencer. With how much time on screen, it's like you can't not say like Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie. They carried the movie, so they're definitely my favorite. But I liked.
Other than those two, I guess.
Alan's
just to fuck
not
you up.
Ken, so I can't pick him. But he was fantastic.
No, you cannot.
He's Ken adjacent.
But I'm gonna steal Simu Liu because he was great.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
He's really good
He
at
was
like
my favorite.
that same like macho stupid energy.
Yeah.
And my favorite I'm trying to think of my favorite Barbie other than Margot Robbie. I did like the president lady. I thought she was good.
Played by Issa Rae. Loved her.
For me, it's Weird Barbie. Not the least because it was Kate McKinnon. It was just a genius cast.
I liked the character,
cast her
but I
as
didn't think that. I don't know. I knew Kate McKinnon was playing that, and I saw her in the trailer, and I was expecting more. I guess
More. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, I didn't know she was going to be in it.
This is one of those casts that, much like, this is in a good way, unlike the other movies. Where I think it was like Valentine's Day or New Year's Eve, or they used to do these movies in the early 2000s, where it's like it had this huge star-studded cast,
New Year's, Christmas
and
one, and Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and
like Haunted Mansion.
kind of, yes, kind of just like that. But anyway, so it would be like it's like all these different stories that collide. It's like, well, I wouldn't say what's that Christmas movie that everybody likes. Love Actually. It's kind of like Love Actually, but like first of all, Love Actually is not good. But these are all worse than
Until
Love
Spencer
Actually.
answers Die Hard.
Yeah. Yes. But like so they used to do it. But I think the challenge is when you accumulate such good acting talent. There's just not enough screen time for everybody to really star and still tell your story, right? Because it's at points in this movie. I didn't think it was a really good movie, but there were points in this movie just kind of like the flow was like it like changed. It was weird, right? It was like the setup was nice and easy breezy, and then she goes to the world and it gets like fast or like it gets like it's still kind of normal, and then she goes to Mattel and it gets weird, and then she goes back and it gets super fast, and it's just like kind of throws you off. So I don't know if that was the problem, why other people didn't get more face time, or like there's too many faces. And so you couldn't show everybody equally.
I thought that when it got to this point where you're saying when she goes back and everything gets really fast, it felt to me a little bit like someone went, "Oh shit, we had all of these other references to throw in. Now we're gonna have to do it really fast."
Mhm.
But I don't know. It might just be just because the movie gets so hectic at that point. But it felt like it was a really sort of like leisurely pace for like a good half of it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like goes kind of crazy with everything happening at once. I didn't mind, like it doesn't make the movie bad or anything, but it is weird to me. And like since you touched on this, maybe we can talk about it later too. But like, what the fuck was up with Mattel's headquarters? Like, did anybody understand? Was that like a pocket fictional reality? What the fuck was going on there?
It had a tone, like at least two times, like with the main floor or whatever floor that the sort of like the desk workers were in.
That looks like
and
fucking Severance.
Yeah,
Something.
totally.
And even when Barbie was coming out, when Barbie was trying to escape and stuff, I thought I saw like a mannequin sitting in the background on a phone. And then,
I didn't even see that.
But like
Maybe.
the color, it's contrast. Barbie is there, and then there was like Barbie is in your face, like foreground in the background. I thought I saw a mannequin, but then the person moved slowly, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Chris, is there a mannequin in the room with you right now?
It's like
Don't
that Doctor Who
turn
episode.
around.
It's the I can see him in the mirror. Oh no! Well, mirrors. I don't really know if mirrors allowed to protected you from the weaping angels.
They did
but anyways,
not.
oh shit.
Well, like they
Okay.
did. We have to see them, right?
Until
But,
Spencer
we don't need to go
knows
on.
this.
I don't think.
Oh,
I don't
Lord.
think. Maybe incels do watch
Definitely.
Doctor Who. We're moving past it.
Not-
Since you brought up the Mattel headquarters, I do want to ask because so much of this movie is like them making references and doing some homages or whatever. Can anyone explain to me what was happening when they were running around when Barbie was escaping? Because I just couldn't place that. Like why it was weird like that. They're all running in between each other.
It was,
or,
like
like,
a it was
not
almost like a
catching each
musical
other.
number, but then they they run into each other
or
and
like
they scream.
a
Yeah.
a slapstick comedy bit or something.
It was.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of
Yeah.
like Scooby Doo cartoon.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
100%.
The door
100%.
bit.
Yeah, like they're all like
Yeah.
going chasing each other. And I didn't like that scene
And then
It was
because, frankly, if
very
I were the head of
And-
Mattel,
Mhm.
I would have used my gun to shoot her.
What now?
Sorry, I just she was trespassing on his property, and it is lawful
You
right.
never go full incel, Spencer.
I need some smelling salts.
It's too
Sorry.
far.
Let me reel it back.
Smell it, inhale deeply.
Yeah, I just think that it was like a Scooby Doo reference, and nobody should have shot anyone.
Honestly, I didn't like other than obviously Will Ferrell. Whenever he was on the scene,
Yeah,
he
he's
kinda
great.
stole it. Just because he was just playing himself basically at that point.
Yeah.
But almost everything that happened in that office, like I was like a little like it was. I liked obviously that the Barbie land was super fantastic and like insane, but like it kind of ruined the contrast between the real world and Barbie land of like the office being like zany like that. It didn't
Yeah,
make any
that
sense.
bothered me a lot
Plus-
too. I thought that was silly. Like I was like expecting like a big
Yeah.
fish out of water sort of element once they come to the real world,
Yeah,
and they have that for like 10 minutes. And then they're like, let's go into the Mattel
Yeah.
store like place, which is the same logic as Barbie Land. It's like it's just as fantastical, but not explain it.
Yeah.
Like they have ghosts and weird musical
That's
numbers.
the next part.
and infinite
Yeah.
hallways and yeah.
But you don't even know that it's. You learn that maybe it was the ghost of Barbie's creator on the 17th floor. That was odd. Not immediately. They tell you. They tell you that at the end.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that it was what was her name, Ruth. I didn't know that
Ruth
was her, and I was like,
Handler, yeah.
is it like when Barbie first goes in? I thought it was maybe a prototype elderly.
That's what
Barbie.
I thought,
And I was
or
like-
like a Barbie. I actually thought it was a Barbie that escaped to the real world and that just
Well, that
grew old.
actually
That's
leads
what I
to-
thought it was going to be.
They didn't
My
explain.
headcanon of Mattel, the reason why Mattel's universe is so weird, or their offices are so magical, is that Will Ferrell's character was actually an older Ken that escaped Barbie Land and took over Mattel.
Oh.
Ruth.
Yeah. I would
And he
have
made
liked
it
that a
all
lot, actually.
that's why the logic of that place sort of applies there. That'll be followed up with the
Right.
sequel, boys. Calling it now.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, and Incel Spencer's going to agree with me, which is
Yep.
unfortunate, but here we go. In every Marvel movie, we managed to shoehorn in Stan Lee.
Yes.
Okay.
So why can't we shoehorn
Stan Lee
in
into this movie?
Ruth? No. No.
I'd be up for that, although that would have been
There
a fight
goes
defeat
Barbie.
to do that now.
Oh, way to go, Spider-Man. I mean, Barbie.
But like, it's one of those.
Yeah.
The movie actually reminds me a lot of, and this is actually instead of me saying, let me ask you this question, but like, it's a two-part. First part is, do you think Mattel? How much control did Mattel have over their involvement in the movie?
Like real production.
How they were,
and
not
Mattel?
how the movie was made or what it was about, but how
Okay.
how they existed in the world and in the movie.
I'm pretty sure they had a lot of control. I don't know, like if it was
See, I think
total,
they would
but,
have
like,
little.
Maybe they,
based.
I don't know. They were.
I think they were like.
Yeah, but they don't know how to. That doesn't mean they know how to make movies. Like they probably got a chance to see like the draft, like a draft of the script, and maybe kept like at a maybe at the table, but then like at the children's table, so that they could hear the conversation. But like
At the
they don't-
women's table.
Wait, there's a.
Wow, Incel Spencer, you have to stop.
What?
That's a bad Incel Spencer.
one step forward,
Get back in your corner.
2 steps back. Just get in the
I wanna
box,
know-
Incel Spencer. Get in the
I
box.
want to know what
The
kinds of negotiations have you been in, Chris? That there was a kids' table at the negotiation room.
the
What's the
Mattel,
director of this movie? What's her name again?
Greta
I'm
Gerwig.
pretty
Greta
sure Greta Gerwig is a pretty hands-on director, and she had a lot of sway. And I'm pretty sure that she wouldn't have I'm pretty sure this was her vision, and it was like she wasn't gonna like sign on if she had to like get okay from the company for all these details. You know, I think definitely part of the deal of getting her was like they'd have to give up creative control.
Creative
Yeah.
control. Yeah, that makes sense. But like, I think okay, so even if they had control, they probably like didn't exert it too much. Is probably what it's probably what happened. Like even if they could have done something, she would have walked out, and they wanted her, so they were like, all right, fine. Because they take some pretty not super hard, but they make some digs right
Yep.
towards Mattel. So
Yeah, but they're acknowledging it in the movie, therefore they've done nothing wrong. It's the perfect chess move.
that
It's like when you point out the bad writing in a movie the movie.
Which Spencer is talking right now?
yeah,
I
know.
can't tell.
I'm concerned.
So you know, it's
now.
like
They're
you know, in a
bleeding
movie when they're like,
together.
"Oh, what are the odds that we would run into these people here?" Good thing, and they point out how bad the
I
writing is,
see.
but it doesn't excuse that they still wrote it. It's just like an easy way out.
It's not as aggressive as that, but I get what you're pointing at. I'm just
Yeah,
curious
yeah.
because there's a lot of when this came out, and then there was also the movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck where they talk about how
Good Will
Nike
Hunting?
hooked.
Oh, no,
what the
Air.
fuck, dude?
Great movie,
Listen,
bro.
it's-
Great movie. Good Will Hunting.
Listen, you need to be more specific.
This
but
movie
anyways,
should have been
go-
Good
you're-
Will
you're-
It's almost
sounds
like if you let me finish
Yeah.
explaining what I was talking about, you would have known
I'm
what
just
I was
so
talking about.
excited. I just get excited.
I'm not talking about
sometimes.
Good Will Hunting when we're talking about Barbie. They made the movie about how Nike courted Michael Jordan and created the Air Jordans. And there was a lot of conversation around, businesses making movies that
Yeah.
are
Now,
product
that was a
placement
great
movies or, like,
commercial. I mean, film.
Which one?
No,
This
the
one?
Nike one.
Air.
Air.
Yeah, the Nike one.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically,
Air.
both of these
Thank you.
are commercials.
Well,
But
yeah.
the thing is, I would say that Mattel does it, or Mattel comes across as much better in this, and the Barbie movie is so well done because it's the reverse Star Wars in the sense that we all watch Star Wars and they made a billion toys and vehicles, and now we're watching Mandalorian and other shows. Now they're sticking all those toys, the weird toys, into the show as sort of fan service. This is basically what they did here, right? Like if you grew up with Barbies, they like at one point they were
Yeah.
like throwing clothes off of
Yeah.
balconies and like
Yeah.
boom,
Showing-
this thing and
yeah,
that thing.
Title.
Yeah.
Title. Yeah.
And
And the end credits have like all of the commercial stuff, like the Barbies going around and all that.
Yeah.
The real Allen box and
Yeah.
framing.
Ken's best friend.
Yeah.
Barbie didn't like
It
Ken, so
looks-
Ken needed a friend.
And it looks uncanny to like Michael Cera too. That was a good casting. But yeah,
Dude
so
got
this is
pans
like,
though. That's for sure.
This was like the Barbie version of what we see when we watch a Marvel movie. Then
100%.
when they throw everything in the kitchen sink into that. Yeah, that makes sense. And like, but Mattel, to the point that I think it was Spencer that made it impressive because it was
Which Spencer?
Spencer?
You have to be clear.
Yeah, be specific. Careful where you walk. Landmines.
the non-incel one.
I don't like
if he
that guy.
exists. No, that they come off like they don't come off as like super bad in this, even with the digs, right? It's like, oh look, we're making fun of ourselves, haha, right?
We're
Like,
so cool.
and it was like, yeah, and we also made like $1 bajillion on this, so like, sure, hate us, whatever, who gives a shit? So
Good enough for
But-
Lego. Good enough for Mattel.
Yep.
looks
Both-
like good
both
enough
with
for
Will
Hasbro,
Ferrell.
although.
Playing businessman.
Oh, that's true.
Apparently, according to CNN, actually, Barbie toy sales shot up 25% after the film's release.
Wow, what a
What
fucking
a
surprise.
statistic.
Yeah. You know what's surprising to me? That it was only 25%. I thought it would be
You know what
more.
surprised me?
Incel Spencer, do you want to shut the hell up?
Oh. Okay.
Holy shit! Was that a preemptive one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I thought.
Regular Spencer, do you have anything to add?
no, that was definitely Intel Spencer coming in
Get
hot.
the water. That's what happens. Just gotta give it. Just spray the water bottle. Spritz.
Get back in your
spritz.
corner.
Cheetos.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into some of the plot holy things of this movie. It was actually a pretty tight movie overall. We found one thing that we have a lot of questions around, and so let's just dive into the one thing and see how far we can get into it. But so Ken comes to the real world with Barbie, and he learns about the patriarchy, which is
cards and horses.
men and horses, yeah, and cars. And he takes a couple books back, and he is able to turn Barbie Land into his Kendom. And you know, we know he does that. There's the foreshadowing, but when they come back, it's complete 180, right? All the Barbies are serving them, etc.,
And
etc.
I thought the
I
movie
just
was
kinda
going
wanted
to
to
end
know-
there and be a happy ending.
All right, God damn it!
Where's that? Where's the spray bottle?
I thought I sprayed him back into his corner. But I want to know is how, because Ken did it like a day. That's what they said, right? About a
We
day
don't know
he
exactly
changed
how
it.
time works there either.
No, we don't. But they said, or Barbie said,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a day. So how in a day did Ken take Barbie Land and brainwash? They said brainwash, but how did he get all the Barbies to like just give up on being Barbie in that
Can we
24 hours?
Can we replace your water bottle with a hose for this question to keep Incel Spencer on the corner?
I have an answer, but I'll let you guys go first.
Shit.
Yeah.
He said he explained patriarchy, and then they lost their minds.
Right, the Kens, but how
Kens
did that work
explained.
with the Barbies?
Yeah,
That's
how
what
did
he
Barbies-
said. How did? But like, okay, well, sorry. So you don't
It's
want a
good,
real
no, 'cause
answer.
it's-
You want a.
No, I'm fine
a
with your
more
real
wild-
answer, but I
Yeah.
don't understand how you explain the patriarchy to the Barbies and they lose their minds. That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Maybe it does. Go ahead.
Because what is she? Stereotypical Barbie is
Right.
like, no, fuck you, basically.
Yeah.
When Ken's like, you want to be my like part-time long distance,
But
on and
because
off
she
girlfriend.
learned about it
Low maintenance.
in the real
Yeah.
world. The other ones were susceptible to influence.
Yeah, but there were other
They were
Barbies
so naive.
there.
I don't see
that
why they're
didn't
susceptible to influence. I don't see why that makes any
it
sense.
Might be. It might. I was just gonna say it might be that since stereotypical Barbie was already exposed, right? The blow was softened, and then when you're in the
I don't accept
utopia,
this.
well, you don't accept that. Okay, well let me finish. In Barbie Land, they have utopia mind, And I'm not saying that's and I think in contrast
what
to
you're
patriarchy.
saying-
No, don't mansplain. Cut me
What
off.
you're saying is
No.
that patriarchy is
Uh-oh.
utopia.
Incel
No.
Chris is here.
No, I asked you to let me
Preach,
finish,
brother.
and you just cut me off. You cut me
I agree
off.
with Chris.
None of you are listening, as per men.
I agree,
well.
Chris. Thank you.
Oh well,
No,
No.
finish your point. Incel.
Please finish.
I mean, Chris.
No, don't.
y'all have terrible empathetic abilities. Terrible.
Listen, I wasn't the one who said patriarchy and utopia in the same sentence.
I was trying to come up with some form of an explanation. I'm not. It doesn't mean I'm right. I don't know if I'm
think they
right.
did.
I already said I feel wildly ill-equipped to talk about Barbie in
No, I think they
general.
did say that. They were like
But-
they were so unaccustomed to that kind of logic that it like scrambled their brains. Their small female brains.
That it's
That's
like
what the movie said.
okay,
That's what the
Oh,
movie
no.
said.
the movie fair, but the movie goes to such lengths to sort of portray Barbies as this ideal in Barbie Land. They're this ideal for all women in the real world to aspire
Do they
to.
though?
It
Because they're
seems-
also like kind of
yeah.
like a part of the point of the movie was that they were living like this like not meaningless life, but they were like kind of like not thinking about anything big or like the whole arc of Barbie in the movie is to like think of real thoughts.
Only stereotypical Barbie.
Yeah, I mean,
All the rest of the
They're like
Barbie
we
go
just
back to-
dance and
There
we're,
was a
it's also very
whole-
superficial.
there was a whole Supreme Court. No, wait, there was a
you're
whole
forgetting
Supreme
something,
Court
too.
and a president Barbie.
But they just had parties every day and just
Yeah.
danced forever.
No, they actually passed
Did they?
laws and respected each other.
They
Yeah.
had a
Did
constitution.
you watch this
We're-
movie?
I didn't see
We're spiraling.
that.
We're spiraling a little bit, and I think it's important to identify both branches. One, there was Matt's question about how did like the descent into like
Madness.
how
Fandom.
did madness happen? But then at the same time, we're also talking about the branch of the Barbies in Barbie Land fulfilling their utopia, but at the same time, here's the branch. Each of them are fulfilling their like living their best Barbie life. President, physicist, astronaut, etc., etc., etc. Plus the relationship of their human kid, playing and feeding into that role. So like each Barbie was doing what they were supposed to be doing, living their best
Chris,
Barbie life. Two branches.
I gotta
That's
stop
it.
you here only because
That's it.
I don't think we identified this initially, but I think there's a huge plot hole around kids Barbies being connected to their kids because that's a
Yeah.
whole
We should-
thing
We
that we
should
need to
talk about
that's
tackle.
that's
in
what
like
I'm
5
saying.
minutes.
We're talking about two
Yeah.
branches.
So,
So
let's, keeping the kid Barbie relationship out of the scenario. I just don't see how Ken comes back and is like, in the real world, men are in power, and the women are like, yeah, I guess I'll just feed them drinks and give them foot rubs
I
now.
think it went a little something like this.
no,
no,
get
no,
the bottle.
Are you gonna
No,
break
I'm
into
not.
song?
Right?
No, this is not Incel Spencer answer yet. I think he convinced them with a musical number
I'm ready.
because that's a good way to
Okay.
say.
That's what they
and
should
it-
have done.
And it
That's what
and
they
it
should have
was-
done.
little something like this. Sick of your
my
day-to-day life as a woman. Sick of your day-to-day life as the boss. Time to relax and become a slave to men. Ba ba da ba 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 da da. Thank you. Ba da ba 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 da da da. Slave to men. Ba ba da ba ba.
I do not subscribe to this
I-
musical number, but
And I think we all
trying
know
to
now
explain
why
himself.
Spencer's audition to be in this movie didn't work.
What do you mean? I was in this movie.
Background dancer
I was
only.
the patriarchy.
Wow, makes sense actually. It does make sense. Let's okay. We gotta unpack. I think we've kind of unpacked this a little bit in terms of how Ken did it. We don't know, but terrible patriarchic music was the answer. Let's talk about the Barbie connection to the real world because it does not make sense, and it breaks down immediately for me because there's one of every Barbie, right? There's one stereotypical Barbie.
Yeah.
There's one president Barbie. There's one astronaut Barbie.
Uh-huh.
But like, don't millions of kids
Have
own
millions of Barbies.
Right.
millions of
Yeah.
Barbies? So why
Yeah.
did like existential dread American Ferrera blow stereotypical Barbie's brain when there's probably a million other stereotypical Barbies out there with kids who are just having a great old time?
That's a good question. And how come, like, I'm sure there are other fucked up kids, unfortunately, playing with Barbies. How come all of the Barbies didn't get affected?
I got
Only
this.
kids did.
Unless anyone else
Okay.
has an answer.
We have answers, but you just keep
that's
jumping
what I'm asking.
in. So
You guys go ahead.
let's.
Go. Now you started it. Go ahead.
It's good podcast.
Go, you
just continue.
Listen, who's the patriarchy now? Yeah,
You
that's right.
always.
So let me talk. Basically,
I wanna push you around. No thanks.
no. I think that if there are a million Barbies toys, I think the avatar of that real version of Barbie Land is like a amalgamation of all of the most common traits that the kids imagine.
Oh, so the ones you like and want,
No,
and not
like
the
let's
evil
just
ones.
say that the kids that play with the regular Barbie, let's say 70% of them are thinking that she's dancing and partying and happy and cool and all this, and then 30% are
Right.
thinking suicidal thoughts and want to kill things and are horrible people.
Oh, great. Yeah.
That 70% takes over.
Okay,
So she's
so
like a
you're
receiver,
saying
like a receiver of some
Yeah.
sort, in relation to the population that have her sort of avatar, almost like a voodoo doll in
Yeah.
a way.
But then there's like a small percentage that pretends they're Barbie, believes that Donald Trump won the election. That doesn't mean that the real Barbie is going to think that.
well, Spencer. So you're telling me by your logic,
Yep.
which is, I guess, this sounds an excellent sales logic. By this logic, stereotypical Barbie has at least 50.1% of people playing with her that are experiencing existential dread and cellulite.
No. But
What do you mean?
like
no?
it's not like it has to be
You said it was the average.
the average, but not in the way that you describe it. Like you're saying that 50% have to all think the same things. Like let's just say that 70% think that she's cool, 80% think she's beautiful.
This is how the patriarchy tries to convince you
And
you're
maybe, like-
crazy. This is called
No, maybe they
gaslighting.
only like infuse personality traits once it reaches over 20% of the total feelings. So then maybe she was the one person that put it over the edge of existential crisis.
For those of you listening at home, he's changed his answer in order to fit a different
No,
model and convinced you that he was right the whole time.
Listen, trust
Good
me.
job,
I'm a
Incel
man.
Spencer. Way to show him how it's done.
It checks out.
Right.
It checks out.
Yes!
Just trust me.
The math works out. You can't do it because
Also-
only men can.
and like just as a point of contention, all that we see is one person having one particular existential crisis about
But you think
cellulite,
that's
I
the
guess,
only one?
and affecting.
Come on, everybody's got that.
That's
No.
the only one we see.
But only stereotypical Barbie suffers from it, by your
Yeah.
logic.
So far.
No,
Okay.
but we never see anything. Even Midge is fine.
Yep.
No one
Well,
talks
she's
to
discontinued.
her. She
No one
discontinued,
plays
but
with her.
No one.
Yeah,
No one
but
plays with
that's
her, but
true.
no one talked to
That's
her
true. Nobody-
in the
nobody
concept
plays with
construct
her.
of this movie. We don't know what's going on with her. Like, did they with Sugar Daddy or Daddy Sugar, and then the other, and then the other, I can't remember the name of the
Magic
other Ken.
earring, Ken.
Thank you.
That's the greatest of all.
They identified themselves when no one asked them how their day was, and the same goes. But they did talk to Barbie with a TV in her back, and she was able to express who wants a TV in their fucking back. No one.
Yeah, but they're all discontinued, so they don't have any avatars in the world to be played with.
Yeah, arguably,
So then their own voice probably
stereotypical
comes through,
Barbie
I guess.
is the more common one, right? That everybody has.
I think stereotypical Barbie is just a way to say the original Barbie, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely the most
The
played
first
with,
one.
which
Yeah.
just shows
Yeah.
how popular existential crisis has become amongst our youth. It's a deep message, Joe. We got to talk about this. It would have been great if there was one doll that was like a doll that no one played with and was just like not cognizant. Like they were just like, oh, no one plays with no.
Like a
Like
doll?
she's like a woman in the Barbie land, but she can't move or talk or anything. She's just lifeless, and they're like, oh, no one plays with her anymore.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Except it would have
But-
gone. Then all the discontinued
No,
dolls
people
would
still
have been
have
those.
those. Been passed from generation to generation. But there's one that nobody plays with, and they're like, she's just frozen, sentient, but can't move or speak, living a life of hell forever.
This is getting too dark.
This is classic patriarchal operations.
Yeah.
You're trying to take away from the point of the movie about how hard it is to be a woman
what
in
now?
today's society. Who now? and you're just trying to make it like, oh, this fun toy doesn't have a life. Let's just laugh at them instead of staying on
Correct
brand.
me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there are
Classic.
any women in this movie.
What?
Any other final thoughts on this connection? We have questions to ask otherwise.
It's if we work with the framework of
Yep.
this movie, I mean, you kind of have to. It's never been done. It's never been done or explored before. Barbie Land and like the relationship of playing with your kids. Sorry, with a kid and their toy, but like in this construct. So
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they made the movie.
No,
Toy Story?
There's
Toy
Toy
Story
Story
movies.
for one, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, or what I'm trying to zero in on is the
Spit it out,
the
goddammit!
connection. Silence, incel, infidel.
Today, Junior. Sorry, continue.
I'm gonna stretch this bitch out until kingdom come. Like your model, Spencer, was like almost like I said, voodoo doll, but almost like a satellite signal, many to one avatar. But at the same time, like there's certain things we have to just like suspend our disbelief with and kind
Boo.
what?
What's this realistic answer? Suspend
well-
our disbelief.
I'm
I
going to
don't know.
suspend my disbelief
I
and
don't
say that
know.
was a good answer.
Honestly, even with suspension of disbelief, this doesn't work.
Okay,
Because
carry on.
Like it's not internally.
That's what happens when you come late, Chris.
Moving on to questions. Chris,
Alright.
I'm gonna throw you a softball.
Sorry, I came late. I tried. That's all.
Chris, we need to focus now. Chris,
I'm
what is
focused.
what is
I'll
beaching
take
off?
this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Beaching off is
Ken beaches
the
off a
activity.
lot.
Yes, he does. And even if he did need to try to save someone, he would not be qualified to do so.
He would
so
not
no, and it's unfortunate, but the definition of beaching off would be it would be standing, posing, and then attempting to enter a body of water and being repelled by its majesty. Every time.
Clean and subtle. I like it.
Every time.
Yeah.
There's no
Luciano.
room. Oh, and there's go ahead. Sorry.
I just thought it was the act of rubbing sand on your private parts.
But there's no private parts in Barbie Land.
He doesn't have any
True.
private parts. How can he do that?
But
So he
Ken
does
did
it.
say he has all the genitals.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
He said it, but
Yeah.
was it true?
It wasn't true.
I don't think it was true. I don't think he even know what genitals were. That boy dumb is what I'm saying.
Maybe he
How
is.
can one understand what one has never had? I broke the podcast. Oh no!
That's a question we're not going to answer here, Spencer.
Don't answer
Beaching
it.
off. What is it? How do you do it?
I believe it's when a whale comes through the surface and spews air out of its blowhole.
Is that what we're calling it?
I mean, that's what Ken
That's
does.
what Ken does.
Ken is a whale.
Shit.
Oh, I thought you said breaching. Breaching.
Shut the fuck up.
Incel Spencer is back.
I should thank Spencer for giving an even worse answer.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, he cleaned that right up for you.
I owe you one.
I think he also redeemed my previous failed attempt to
I just
answer
wanted to help.
questions.
I just wanted to help you
Also
guys out,
correct.
you know.
Thank you.
Matt, what is beaching off?
Well, that's a great question, Luciano. Thank you for asking me. Beaching off is when you and a friend help each other to pose on the beach in a competition against two other people for the greatest beach pose. Competition for the greatest beach pose. And the faster and harder you pose, the better it
Your
is.
orgasm.
You know, I think
Oh,
that's got
that was
some.
good. That's that line there.
That's got some
Well
extra
done.
legs though, because wasn't the battle, the Ken battle? Could one argue that was a beach off?
Yeah, they were beaching off each other.
But they had their
Yeah.
clothes
Sure,
on.
we're beaching each other off.
Does
That's okay.
one need
Can you beach off with clothes, with your clothes
clothes or no clothes?
Yeah, you
You don't
can.
have to have
on?
all
Just
your
take your
clothes
pants
off.
off and you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think there was some beaching,
or your shirt.
some vigorous beaching with clothes.
I like to beach
Yeah.
off fully nude.
Some would say they dry beach off.
Monsters.
chafing.
Sure, they could.
Yeah.
I think for you to beach off fully nude, that's a special beach,
Yeah, that's true.
special location.
Yeah.
That's true. I
That
only
is true.
beach off nude
Otherwise,
on special
it's-
occasions.
Jail time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. Moving straight through that. We
Beach
saw
off in a watermelon.
toys
Wow.
go from the toy world to the real world,
hmm
and they kind of show it, but they don't show it.
Mm.
So I want to know how it really works, right? Like,
Gosh.
how does going from the toy world to the real world, or vice versa, actually work? I understand that they get in different vehicles
Yes.
and they travel a distance,
Yes.
but there's other stuff that happened there, right? Like you rollerblade on Santa Monica Pier,
The final stage.
and then all of a sudden you're in was the spaceship the last one?
I
last
think you're
one's
going,
the
you're
last
going
one's a
backwards
car.
now.
Because that's the car she
The first
leaves
one- well,
Barbie
The
Land.
first one was the car.
Yeah.
Do we need
Comes-
to lay out the steps
Okay, so
in order
yeah,
to
let's lay
talk
out-
about
like,
it?
let's go. We're going out of Barbie Land, just we're all on the same
Okay.
page.
Cars.
Cars first.
Car to
Boat.
Yeah, to the ride
Bike?
across
Camper.
Amsterdam.
So
because
maybe it was
they're
it-
riding in front
the
of
van
windmills.
thingy.
Oh,
the
yeah,
van
yeah.
thingy.
The
And
And then there was a
camper van.
and then there was a
The camper.
bike. Where does the bike happen? The
Before
bicycle, the tandem
space?
bicycle.
The bike.
I think so.
So space, the first one, or the last? Sorry, the last
No.
one. The scenario.
No, the last.
I think it was space, then bike,
Is it
then
the last one?
then rollerblades.
The last one is the snowmobile.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's an expensive trip.
Which doesn't make any sense because they end up in Santa Monica, but whatever.
Whatever.
Can you
Yeah.
book that
So,
through rentals?
How
So
how
those are-
does that actually work? How, because like we see the Mattel board of directors, Barbie, Ken, and the human and child go. Can anybody go?
It seems that way.
If you believe.
It seems that way.
So how would I get there?
Well, first
Or-
you're going to put some PCP on your tongue. then you can start. Then you swim in the ocean.
And a full pack of four pack of colors up your anus.
Wow, just 4 colors. That's all I
Just
need.
4.
It'll
Just
get you there.
4.
It'll get
Okay.
you
One of the
there.
must because at some point they all make pink.
What the
I don't
fuck?
even know what that means.
and then you need a little bit of
Just a little bit of weed.
I
just
mean,
weed and a powdered donut.
I don't. Is the powder on the donut cocaine?
Is there any other kind of powder?
No, this one's actual. This one is actual. Well, there was cocaine on the crayons, but let's not talk about that. The powdered donut has full sugar.
That's
'Cause
the
you need
craziest
sugar.
drug of all.
Cocaine.
I didn't say you could. There's plenty. Y'all can come up with another thing to put cocaine on. You gotta have sugar.
Well, why did you make it a powdered donut? Can't
Yeah.
sugar
Because it's
come in a different
sugar.
form?
You set us up.
No. You set up a joke and then
Yeah.
you
I didn't
slap
set
it
up a
Get
down?
mad
joke.
at us.
I'm not mad. I didn't set up a joke. You asked for the
Okay.
process, and I identified two things. Now, if you want cocaine, feel free to add another thing.
I put it
Yeah.
on. Fine, I
On the
put it on
powder.
the sugar
Yeah,
donut.
Exactly.
It's a
Fuck
donut.
you.
It's sugar.
Fuck you.
And then it's
and
cocaine.
fuck you. Fuck all of you. I tried to do some shit. You think you could just Julia Child your way into Barbie Land?
This is a yes and space. I took your powdered donut and
Yes,
I added
and
cocaine.
fuck
Chris
you.
was like, yes, and I washed the cocaine off the donut. That totally does seem like the way they would get. Like I could totally see a scene of Will Ferrell and them being like, "We got to go to Barbie Land," and they like take LSD. They're like, and it cuts to them like, whoa, like going through space and everything.
I
Would've been
mean,
nice
we
if
got
there was
we got everything except for the
Yeah.
LSD thing. Like, if you had told me, it was like, yeah, sure, that's a trip and it's fine.
It would have been nice if we had a little extra something to help people, that like to help one make that transition. Because you're so like this question breeds a sub question. We don't have to answer it, but like, does your physical like body composition change when you go from human
100%.
land
No.
to
Yeah,
Barbie
you
land?
Yes.
Human land, real world to Barbie land. Do you
No.
That
change?
was
Okay.
a very important question.
We know the answer. Let's wait. Let's answer your question with another question because that's
Yes.
how podcasting
This
works.
is
Yay.
a yes and to his question. Yes, and we know at the end of the movie, Barbie develops a vagina.
No, she
because
gets
she feels
one, doesn't
emotions from
Yes.
Ruth.
Now,
Yeah.
Ruth says, "Feel your
Oh.
emotions," and then Ghost Ruth has to die.
Disappears.
So her ghost essence creates
was-
a vagina for Barbie.
she's
I'm
got
confused.
a ghost
Wasn't she
vagina.
dead already? Wasn't she the ghost?
Yeah,
Her
but
Ghost
she-
vagina.
Her ghost
gave
died.
up
the
the ghost.
died.
Yeah, so her
Wait,
ghost essence.
That's not.
But
That's not what that means.
doesn't her
It
ghost
is now.
live forever as her vagina now?
It's not gonna sneak in an idiom like that in here.
Why not? I pretty sure
know.
I almost got it in.
Yeah,
You got it in all right.
Yeah, you did get it all in.
So does that mean when people go to Barbie Land, they lose their genitals?
No, because you have to make a conscious choice to
To be
become
adult.
not human.
I mean,
So they
that
were
choice long
visiting.
ago.
No shit, eunuch.
So you heard it here, everybody. Matt just said that giving up the ghost means getting a vagina. That's what he did. Moving on.
Incel Spencer told me that in confidence.
Facts.
Moving to the next question, because this is what we do here. Quick question. We've seen a number of toy properties have movies. Some were better than others. This is probably one of the best for a straight toy property. The He-Man movies have been subpar at best.
Movies? What's the other one? But that's not. We don't have
I
to
don't
get
know.
There's
into
another one.
It's okay.
I
It's
don't
okay.
know.
I
It's
know of. I
There's
only
the
know of
80s
one,
one.
and that one
It's
is
terrible.
whoo-wee.
Moving on. We're focusing on the wrong parts. They made a Battleship movie, which is technically not a toy, but it
Oh my
is a toy.
God, yes.
It was
True.
interesting. Poor Liam Neeson just earning checks. But what I want to know is, what is the next toy property that's going to get a movie? And before you answer, I just want to let you know that there are a couple that you can't pick. American Girl Doll, Barney, Christmas Balloon, Hot Wheels, Magic 8 Ball, Major Matt Mason, Masters of the Universe, Matchbox, Polly Pocket, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, Thomas and Friends, Uno, Viewmaster, and Wishbone. And you
Wait,
can't pick
no,
those because
wait.
they are all in production from Mattel.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
way.
Wait. They're making an Uno movie? How?
money.
It's a horror film for sure.
That's the
You don't want to get reversied.
the true. That
I
is
want to
true.
see the Magic 8 Ball movie.
Ask again later.
It'll be like
Oh my
Jumanji.
God.
Real facts. It'll
Yeah.
be like
With
Jumanji.
four
But hey,
possible
I
answers.
heard Masters of the Universe
That'd be
there
cool.
too.
Finally.
Yeah, maybe.
But they've been
Pick
trying
your
to
own
do that
property.
for many,
So
many.
we can't pick
long
any
time.
of those.
Don't
right.
pick any, those 14 are off the list. You got to pick your own
All right,
property.
picture the scene.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Star Wipe.
Star Wipe.
Shaw.
There's a man, age 40, and his 12-year-old daughter sitting in a basement.
I don't like where this is going.
Shh, be quiet, honey. Daddy, I'm scared. You don't have to be scared, honey. We're safe down here. Oh no. They found the door. Hungry, hungry hippos. Ah! Daddy, no!
What the fuck? Oh, wherever
They're
I thought that
always
was going, that was not it.
They're so hungry. Coming this fall. Hungry hippos.
I was gonna say that there's like a Hasbro. I think it's Hasbro has this series of toys for boys where it's like a vehicle that turns into a robot. I think that could be pretty successful.
I hate you.
Fuck you. And fuck everything about you. That's coming from me and Incel Spencer.
I said you couldn't pick Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and I meant
Oh,
it.
my bad. I'm sorry.
What about
what
the?
other?
I got one. What about the Rubik's cube? Like my mind, yo.
Okay.
Show
Like
your work.
it could.
Yeah.
I'm about
Paint a
to.
picture.
I'm doing it right now. It could go in two directions. Tell me which
Well,
one
actually,
you want to
Rubik's
do.
Cube can go in four
Option-
directions.
No, son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I said the movie options can go in two directions. One, horror film, much like Hellraiser.
I was thinking more the cube. Like the
Two,
movie
well,
The
maybe
Cube.
it's third. Maybe it's three now. I gotta sneeze. Oh no. Okay, I'll
Fight it.
Maintain.
I was allergic to bad ideas. Let's go.
Man, fuck you. The third, that was how I see. I let it out without you knowing. The third, I'm gonna skip past your cube idea and count it as a second. And the third idea would be like an intergalactic
Warp.
crossing of an intergalactic coming of age story where the journey to find the Rubik's cube, which controls the universe, is at stake.
I thought you were going to say an intergalactic war between
thought-
like the colors, and they're like fighting for positions in the cube of
That
space.
sounds.
The
Trying
That
to align
sounds-
Red
themselves.
Army have made their move. Everything was fine till the Green Army attacked. Rubik's cube.
But they all.
I
But
thought
but
when-
they're all. But they're all part of the same
That's the theme-
existence.
that's the
which
theme
to
of
me
the
sounds
movie.
like harmony.
They need to find their allegiances and realize they're
Yeah.
all part
So
of the
you
same
want a
unit.
game of you kind of want a Game of Thrones thing going on before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, they're vying for positions on the cube when they all have their rightful place. The cube is gone.
I mean, when you said intergalactic battle and a cube, I immediately thought of the Borg.
That's true.
But they were very colorful.
Just make Star Trek the Next Generation.
could use-
the Borg are a Rubik's cube. Movie done.
They could use a splash of color.
All right. Fair enough.
They could use some drapes. You could use a new throw rug here and there. Get some LED, some multicolored LED.
We are
lights.
the Rubik. Resistance is futile.
We want to party.
Luciano, how
We want to simulate your color into our own.
I mean, I already gave my idea. You didn't like it, but
Nope,
I
nope,
can think
you're
of
done.
Another one.
No, we're moving past it.
All right, fine. Thank you.
So it's just left to me to save this segment,
Hey,
correct?
Hungry
He
Hungry
saved- he
Hippos
saved
is going
him.
to
I
be a
mean, let's
franchise.
see what you come up with.
Hungry
Saving
Hippos.
might be a strong word.
Okay.
Look at this man.
Look
looking
at
the
this
internet
giant
for
list.
Hungry, but like while you look for something, Hungry Hippos has legs for real, for like facts.
They have
Check it.
four.
What
They
animal?
have four.
What?
No, there's like four
They don't actually
hippos.
have legs. They're just
Four
flat on the
hippos.
ground.
16 legs, bro. 16.
No, in the game, they're just laying there, and it's just your mouth that moves.
But you've got to adapt it for the
That is
screen.
true.
You've got to adapt it for the screen.
You've wasted all my
Hippos are
time
the
moving
deadliest animal.
That's what
in
you
the world.
get. It sounds like that makes sense.
That is true.
on. That might be true. Chris,
Yes, sir.
I have another fun question for you.
Here we go.
What Barbies? We see a lot of Barbies that get made. We see a lot of Barbies that get discontinued. But I want to know, give me one Barbie that never made it to production.
Starving artist Barbie.
What does she come with?
She comes with
Crippling
a beret, crippling debt, endless optimism, a half pack of cigarettes, two of which she found off a curb. They're dirty.
They're like half cigarettes.
They're bent. They're wet and bent, and she's waiting for them to dry out because she still needs to commit time to her art, but she also has to get that fixed.
They could have so many accessories because
does she come with any art supplies? None of these are art supplies.
Of course not. She doesn't have money to buy them. So yeah,
I will allow me to try to paint that
pin
picture.
to prick her finger to get her paint material.
That's one way to go about it. But I thought, do you get punch cards at blood donor drives? Because like, in order for her to make ends meet,
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyways, so she also has a Kinko's print card because she's an employee, but she can't get any shifts in order to help her cover her expenses. So the answer to your question on what art or paint supplies or whatever her tool of choice is, it's coffee. She paints in coffee. So use Tim Hortons cups and before people throw away
Canadian version.
Yeah. She goes to Oakhead.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how can I make this even more spicy?
I think it's enough toys.
I was gonna say you could have accessories for like a failed demo tape, a failed like a bad painting that you painted.
Oh, she's got a zine. She's got a zine that she works on the side. Yeah.
A blog.
No, a zine. It's not
both.
Okay,
both.
Sure. Thank you. Sure. And then and her medium is coffee. Like she paints with coffee.
All right, that's a great option. I don't know why it ever didn't make it to print. But.
Yeah.
Some may say it didn't inspire children. you might say it was less than inspiring.
What else we got?
How about migrant worker Barbie? That never. That didn't
get off the shelves. That didn't get past the.
Yeah. It wasn't
get past the
really
brainwashing phase. The brainstorm phase.
What did that come with?
It came with. Allow me to help to assist really quick. It came with a drawstring with one pre-recorded phrase. I don't know how many, but one was such as "I am Chop."
Wow.
I was gonna say
it was
comes with a little
Spencer's offended.
Okay.
Dear God, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah, it comes with a little tent that she can sleep in with her like 4 children.
Again, I gave you an out and you didn't take it, and I don't know why.
No, I didn't take it. No, I saw the exit.
You slammed the door shut.
Continue to dig. You just
on fire.
You chose to
accelerated.
dig down.
When you saw the exit,
You grabbed another shovel and you began to dig with both arms.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. She also comes with an immigration form that she has filled.
That she has not filled?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
she comes with a little English to Spanish English dictionary.
Yes.
So my Barbie.
The other sentence in the drawstring is no hablo inglés.
So my Barbie.
Thank you, Spencer.
Is waifu
horoscope Barbie. Go for it. Go.
Waifu wife Barbie, which is it's an anime based Barbie.
Is it just like a full body pillow?
It's very. It's actually. It's not full bodied. It's a pillow. The size of a Barbie.
With just a drawing of a Barbie on it.
I was asking how it didn't get printed, and like now I know. Now I know why it didn't get made.
And it's like it says, "I senpai." when you pull the string.
Oh no! Oh no! Is it the same voice actress that did the
no,
migrant
no,
one?
no, no. She switched jobs,
I
and
see.
it
Good for her.
What else does she come with?
She switched jobs. It sounds like it sounds like it's still the same person.
no,
Switched jobs.
no, it's not the same
Okay.
person.
Okay,
This
okay,
is
okay.
this is a waifu pillow. It comes with a deodorant for the user, which instantly gets
Is this a Barbie for the
Yeah,
incel community? Is that
exactly
what that
instantly
is?
gets refunded
Okay.
every time.
Okay.
It, co-
Does it come with a
it
bag
comes
of
with
Cheetos as
and
well?
Kleenex for the cleaning of the Cheeto dust. You sick perverts.
I don't
From
know what's
where?
happening.
It doesn't matter where the Cheeto dust is. Okay, stuff gets around.
You know what? I'm just gonna stop all of this.
Help,
I'm not
help,
answering.
help,
We've gone too
help.
far. We can't come back.
I mean,
Moving on
this
to
is
our
your
next
fault.
question.
You asked the question.
I shouldn't have. That's my fault. I agree.
I was
We
gonna
don't
say
have one?
Subway
You don't have
sandwich
one?
artist Barbie.
no,
but
it's safer
fine.
this way. It's safer this way,
Yo, that sounds like fun. But anyways,
Chris.
I yielded.
No.
I yielded.
Bad. Don't forget the
Yelled.
squirt bottle.
Bat.
I said I yielded. Carry on.
We all are men and we have wives.
Somehow,
Somehow.
Yeah,
Not
somehow.
sure.
So,
What I want to know is what is each of your Godfather movies that we would like our wives to watch and love?
that we would have to explain to them is what you're asking.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Would we have to? Okay.
No, we would. We didn't have to, but we
yeah,
would.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Like
question.
I think for me, it would be the Lord of the Rings because I know so many details about the making of the film that I would have to point that out and thus ruin the film experience. But I would not be able to help myself.
Oh, in
Like
that
the scene where he broke his toe.
in that sense, for me, it would be Star Wars then because I actually did some of that.
You just can't help you. Did you
my
know
wife.
this
got
scene? That's actually shot practically there.
Yeah. Or like, did you know that A New Hope? It wasn't actually the original. The original name was just Star Wars, but they had to kind of make up a name for the fourth episode, which is actually the first episode. I did all of that.
And it was called Luke Starkiller at first, not Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Really?
my answer is also Star
Oh,
Wars.
Good.
Because you also did it.
I
I don't know. I don't know if I explained any nuance of it, but and I don't remember if it has happened. So I'm just going to pretend that it didn't happen yet. Black Dynamite. It's a playoff, or it's an homage to blaxploitation movies from like 2016 or something like that.
Doesn't sound like it's a right pick. You don't have all the numbers in your head off the
Yeah.
bat. Like
You don't get to
can't- it
tell
has
me.
be-
Well, I told you. I have the name of the movie. I just can't remember the year. That's all.
Yeah, but that's
You even
not
love
good
that
enough.
movie?
You don't love that movie enough, is what we're saying.
What year was Return of the Jedi made?
1983.
You see? That's two answers.
Lord of the
Buddhist
Rings was made
man!
in 2001, 2002,
Boo!
2005.
Moving on. We like to give these movies we watch a ranking to see how they
that's
rate
right.
for us personally. Then we're going to collect them all at one point and show you all of our rankings, give you an idea of what our personal tastes are, and you can decide which one of us you hate. It's probably Spencer or Chris. Be that as it may, let's dive into it. Luciano, why don't you give us your rating for Barbie?
Sure. I really enjoyed this movie. It was fun. It was poignant, and I like the casting was. I was honestly kind of scared about the casting. Not of Margot Robbie was perfect, but like
You were scared?
Ryan Gosling and all of the other like bigger names that I saw. But it is actually really good. I was expecting Will Ferrell to play himself as the Mattel CEO, and he did not disappoint. It was funny. The only thing for me that I don't know if it has a lot of rewatchability. I would rewatch it again, but I don't know if I would like watch it 3, 4, 5 times. But to me, I think it's a solid B for me, like almost an A. Really, it's fun, good movie, good story. We had a hard time finding any real like plot holes and bad things to talk about the movie. So solid B for me. I actually highly recommend people watch it if they haven't.
Chris.
Yeah. Really enjoyed this movie. It stands in a class of its own. Rating S. Here's why. I'm getting a little emotional. I think this landscape has been dominated by the patriarchy for too long, and someone had to shine a light in a direction that could show us something different. And I think if you value the full spectrum of the human experience, you watch this movie and you will ask yourself some real questions about, why are you fucking things up, Mr. Man? Why don't you stop fucking things up? Why don't you do things differently? And then and the only thing that was confusing for me was just sort of towards the end of the movie when Barbie is holding hands with Ruth, and Ruth asks her to feel, and she only shows her the beautiful things about the human experience. I was confused. I thought, wouldn't she show her war? Wouldn't she show her some other things that are Barbie only experienced 1% of trial and tribulation, or rather a fraction of trials and tribulations in the movie, and then she was shown beauty, and then she still said yes, but I would have liked for her to show a spectrum of this is what you're really gonna get this. So other than that, still S tier, done.
Spencer, the regular Spencer.
Nope.
Yes,
Wait,
please.
you dodged a bullet. Oh no!
Unlike
no, he said regular.
These beta male soy boys, snowflakes.
Oh no!
I'm going to tell you the truth.
Shit.
Stop
Take the
him.
red pill and wake up, sheeple. This movie.
Oh, fuck. Where's that hose
This
I asked
movie
for?
is an affront to men everywhere, because men deserve to be acknowledged.
It's the lowest energy insult you've ever heard.
No, actually, I can't stand doing this character any longer. It's making me sick. My real review of this movie is very good. This movie is when I watched this movie, I thought I knew what I was getting into, and it was very refreshing to see a movie that actually seemed to have something to say for real. You know, it's like a lot of these movies that you were saying earlier, when they do the message of like if they did it the way you said, Luciano, where it's we're going to show that Barbie can be a good influence and women can be proud. It just comes off so pandering, but this movie did not come off as pandering somehow, even though the message was very, very real.
And
very on the nose, but they didn't come off as pandering. It came off as genuine, and that was very refreshing. After watching all these Marvel movies, and all these movies are just pure spectacle, I feel like it actually had something to say. So I very much liked this movie, and I thought it was fun and all that stuff too. But overall, it was very poignant. It surprised me. I'm going to give this movie an A because it was very well made and it was very different. It was unlike anything I think I've ever seen, which is, you don't say that very often. So, fuck you, soy boy, beta man.
For you? That's A? Unlike anything I've ever seen, that's an A? Okay.
S is
Chris, we don't question
just-
your
no,
weird system.
Yeah,
You do it all the time, actually.
I mean,
Actually, you
that's
do
fair.
it all the
The only reason I
time.
don't give it an S because S, in my opinion, is for one of my favorite movies of all time. S is a perfect,
yeah, like D&D.
no, I would never, Lord of the Rings, let's say, I say for
Fair enough.
I don't know if I love this movie personally to the point where I'd want to watch it a bunch of times, but it deserves all the praise it's getting. Fuck you, soy boy, beta males. Take it away, Matt.
I'm just gonna bleep those out at this point.
Yeah.
I, much like Spencer, really enjoyed this movie. It hit all the right notes. They managed to wrap a very, very poignant message inside of a very fun movie. I would say the ending was a bit. I understand what they were trying to do. It just didn't match the rest of the movie. It felt tacked on in some ways. But, I don't think it really ruins the movie. It's just like, all right, I guess we're going that way. Fine. Like the becoming a human thing. So, overall, fun message, fun characters, great actors, great direction. We rarely get to watch a movie like this. For some reason, when we pick movies. We are picking them, and we pick poorly most of the time. And it was really refreshing. We picked a fun movie with good actors. Everything was fun. I had a great time. Made me smile, made me laugh. So I'm the same as Spencer. I'm giving it an A, and I do the same thing with movies. Is like, is this a thing I'm going to love forever? Does it personally speak to me? It's hard to. Like, I'm sure I've done all the things those greasy males have done in my past.
Definitely.
But,
especially you, Matt.
Wow. Wow.
I was going to say I think we all did to some
No,
extent.
we all.
but no,
we,
let's leave it at
no, we all
especially
did to
you,
some
Matt.
extent, but especially Matt.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, very, very solid A. Highly recommended to watch it. That brings us to closing the show out, and the only thing we have left to do is tell you what the next movie we're going to watch is, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. It came out 2023. It is an animated movie written by Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, Jeff Rowe. I just threw Jeff's name in there so he didn't feel bad. I don't know if anybody knows what his name is.
Jeff.
My name is Jeff. Yeah. Oh, wrong movie.
Wow. Just let Jeff Rowe be. What did Jeff do to you guys?
My name is Jeff.
We're going to watch that. So join us next time, and we will review something more in our wheelhouse where we can not invite Incel Spencer to the podcast.
No, we're taking him outside and shooting him in the back of the head after this.
But I'm eating Cheetos.
No one tell him what's about to happen. Don't worry about Incel Spencer.
Ninja
Everything's
Turtles
fine.
does for turtles what this movie did for women.
Perfect. Well, then everybody's going to have a great time.
Sublime!
And on that note, we're out.
Bye.